Acts 14. In Acts 14:22, we have a very simple truth about the Christian life. Through much tribulation, we must enter into the kingdom of God. The parable of the sower says the same. When, and not if, when the tribulations come into the life of the new Christian convert, some will fall away. Tribulation is going to come. Christianity is no insurance policy against tribulation, but rather it's a way of attaching meaning to that tribulation, to those events in our lives of a negative nature. Paul was constantly alluding to the gospel records. To memorize the gospel records was common amongst the early Christians, and I suggest we try to at least memorize the Gospel of Mark. Because the teaching and actions of the historical Jesus, they are absolutely basic for anyone who seeks to base their life upon Jesus. So when Paul says, through much tribulation, through many tribulations, we must enter into the kingdom of God, I think he's alluding to what the Lord said in John 16, in the world you shall have tribulation. Indeed, that's the case. If you feel no conflict with the world around you, then you need to be worried. Our values are those of Jesus, and they are radically out of step with the values of the society or the world which surrounds us. Now, there's a radical, I like to think, within every one of us, a rebel, a desire to be out of step with your surroundings. The years might have mellowed this, but it seems to me that this desire is part of our nature, part of, let's say, how we're structured. On one hand, we want to be part of the group. But on the other hand, every man is a rebel, at least in his heart. We want to throw off the ties which bind to be different. People do this in ways which seem to me rather simplistic, rather primitive even. Dye their hair startling colours, make their front door a different colour to all the other front doors in the street, dress their kids differently to how the other mothers dress their kids. But I think that's all a kind of overgrown adolescence, really. The real rebellion, the true breaking of the ties that bind, is to step out against the wind of this world, against the way society flows, to stand with your back to this world, if need be, because we stand up for the way of Jesus. We are rebels with a cause, with a reason, not just being rebels without a cause for the sake of it. Radical love, radical forgiveness, radical generosity, radical self-sacrifice, radical acceptance, unashamed devotion to the man in heaven whom you know to be real. If you live like this, well, in the world you will have tribulation, but through much of that, you will enter the kingdom.